Hi again, crafters, it's Cynthia. I am back with another scrapbook layout, and this time I was, inspired to create something basically so that I could use this paper. And I just kind of thought, well, it would make a good backdrop, and it could be a subtle almost like a sky, just because of all the snowflakes. So that's kind of the concept I was going for. So anyway, let's go ahead and just get started putting this together. I'm starting out with this 12 by 12 inch piece of craft cardstock as my base, and then here is the piece of pattern paper that I printed on my printer, and this is from the Miss Kate Cuttables Merry and Bright paper collection, and this is the tan snowflake pattern. And when I printed this, I forgot to remove the borders. So instead of the pattern going all the way to the edge of the paper, it actually gave me about a 1/4 inch border all the way around. And at first I thought, oh gosh darn, I didn't want to do that. But then it occurred to me that would save me a step, because instead of taking this paper and having to attach it to a piece of white, I'm just going to use the white edge as one of my layers. So I did trim about 1/8 of an inch off of each side so that you could see the craft. And let's go ahead and get this paper attached down. There we go. Now you may or may not see this on the video, but I have put little tiny tick marks to help guide me in the placement of the pieces I'm about to add. So that's just something that I do to make assembly a little bit easier, since I'm doing this in a video. So you don't have to do that yourself when you're doing it in person. So I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. I'm filming this video on the Saturday after. So hopefully everyone got some good turkey and had some time to visit. Or maybe you just had a quiet day off. That in itself anymore is a treat. Forget the turkey. Just sleep in for a day. Okay. All right. Now what I did, obviously I, again, kind of going with this whole craft toned look, I went ahead and did my front layer of snow in white, and then the back layer I did in this nice, very soft brown paper. And even though snow hopefully isn't brown, I just thought it kind of went with my design. So that's why I chose that. And then I had purchased this. Let's see if it says. Look, September of 2004. So I've had this for a while. But I really liked it because, to me, this is kind of a perfect snow sparkle glitter. And it's just from Stampendous, crystal glitter, multicolored, ultra fine. And it's multicolored because the little glistening bits, you can see blue and orange and purple and green, but it's very, very subtle, soft color. But anyway, I just thought it was kind of the perfect sparkly snow effect. I like very fine glitter for most of my projects. All right, but it does get everywhere, I won't lie. Okay, so then for the top, I actually cut a different piece, and I just hand cut this. The first one was these layers of snow here were from a cut file. I think it was called Annie's Borders from SVG Cuts, and I just kind of cut that out to get that shape. So I did both of those in the same file. And then this one I just hand cut because I wanted it to stretch all the way, because this pattern from edge to edge is 11¼ inches. So I cut this one 11¼ inches exactly. And then I have it up on just one layer of foam. And luckily, I can just pull off the papers and get that attached. So here is my title all assembled, and this is a cuttable file from Miss Kate's Cuttables, and this one is called All Is Calm Title. There, very pretty. All right, and then what should I do? What should I do? I think I'll do one of my photos next. So for this, I took this paper, which is also from the Miss Kate Merry and Bright paper collection, and this one is just called Green and Black Stripe because the wide stripes are green and the narrow ones are black. But it's you know, kind of a softened look, so the black isn't super sharp and jarring. And then these pieces of snow I actually found in the Miss Kate the North Pole cut file, and so I kind of borrowed those snow drifts from that cut file and resized them to fit within this layout, and then I covered the top of my photo frame with snow. Which is very cute. And then for the corners of my cut file, I went ahead and assembled these little holly berries, and these came from Doodlebug Designs, and they're from the Here Comes Santa Claus collection, which is the 2016 Christmas pattern collection. And so this is the holly berries cut file. And these are actually, I should go ahead and mention some sizes. This is cut to 3 by 5. The brown piece is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. The light green is 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. And the largest one is 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I just started out by 3 by 5 and just went up in 1/4 inch increments for every successive layer. And that kind of just helps give me a pretty reveal at each edge. All right, I'm just gonna have to give in to the glitter. It's everywhere, and if I tried to wipe off every tiny bit, it would make me crazy. Okay, so this is a little pine tree, and this I found this cut file in my Silhouette Studio freebies, and I just took the file and resized it a couple different times to wherever I was going to put it, and then I just hand cut a little piece of white paper to mimic the snow capping the tree, and then I just put a little glue and dipped it right into my glitter so that I would get more glittery snow on that tree. And I'm going to tuck it here. It'll get adhered down to the bottom of my paper, just flat, but it's actually going between the craft snow and the white snow. It's going to get tucked in so that the trunk is kind of buried. And I didn't bother. I could have, you know, cut this on 2 different papers and given it a brown trunk, but I just didn't fuss with that tiny detail. If it bothers you, you can certainly add a brown trunk to your tree, but I didn't feel it was necessary to go to that trouble. Okay, super cute. And there's more trees. Like I said, I'm leaving that one off for a minute. And the other trees are simply the same pine tree cut file, but I made them larger, and then I did a lighter green and a darker green, again to match the different mats and different colors around the page. And then this time, they're gonna go just behind this top piece. And since this piece is up on foam, I put the trees up on foam. And this is to remind me not to glue that one piece because it will overhang just a little, or at least in my original layout it overhung. But this will get tucked down in here. And there we go. It'll kind of look like this. So like I said, it's really not gonna run into that anymore. So let me go ahead and get the glue down. Oh, you know what? Duh. I'm sorry. I just remembered that to save myself the trouble, I glued the foam to the die cut so I could peel off. Okay, sorry. I had a little senior moment there. Got all confused. It's not the first time today, but the first time today caught on camera. All right. There, see? So much easier. All right. Now, and see, I have a little tick mark right here to remind me where I wanted the center of that tree trunk. And I'm just gonna nudge it in and try to get my trees straight. There. And again, I just, hand cut these little bits of white. I just kind of used my scissors to give the edge a little scalloping, and then cut it, at an angle to fit the top of the tree. So a real simple little trick. But I thought, if I have snow capping my photo frames, I can't have no snow on the trees. I think this frame is a little crooked. Oh dear. Well, it's too late. Anyway, I think I'm gonna, I don't know. Yeah, I need to tuck these under. Oh, that's why I wasn't supposed to. All right. Whatever. Okay. And the whole point, naturally, of keeping things clear from the edge of this is that this is where your photo's supposed to go. So if you don't want things intruding on your picture, you need to allow for that. So I'll do my best to get that in there. And I should admit, oh, gracious. Let me do this again. This is just stuck on with foam. So I did notice something. I'm glad that actually happened because I wanted to mention something that I noticed. When I use the foam tape instead of when I use the fun foam sheets and cut down my own pieces to back an item, I've noticed that the Tombow Mono Multi Glue, which is the white glue that's in that little white and green container, it doesn't want to hold that well. This actually holds down that fun foam much better. So just a little observation I have made. If you're going to be doing the same thing, you might want to either use this or a different type of liquid glue for gluing down your fun foam. But anyway, so the last piece for this page is yet another 3x5 frame, and again it was built exactly the same way, and I put the same pieces of snow on top and glittered them. So that is all the same as you have seen. kids, I think that is the end of the first page. Looks very cute. And the next page starts out pretty much the same. I'm gonna try, let's see if I have this in any kind of, okay, this is how it goes. All right, sorry, I had to read my own tick marks to figure out what was going on. But sometimes the craft looks better in one direction than it does in the other, so let me just kind of quickly figure out how it should best sit. Well, I don't know. It's pretty much the same either way, so we'll just go with it. Okay, so this, believe it or not, is the file that started the entire idea process. I purchased this from Miss Kate Cuttables, and I think, oh gracious, I think this is called Christmas Eve. I really should have looked that up first. I'll put a notation on the screen afterwards, so I'll look that up and confirm the name of this file. But anyway, I loved it so much, and it was my inspiration for doing everything that you see here. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this one. Maybe I'll just glue the edges and tape the center. I don't know. Now I'm all gun shy because I had a tape disaster, but we'll see. And I really do want to kind of get the details because I'd hate to have, you know, the little pieces like ears and antlers and stuff to get bent if they're not adhered down to the page as people flip through your photos in your scrapbooking album. I'd hate to see those start to get ragged and worn. So I'm going to be generous, and then this will be fun. Taping on a round object. Oh well. I can do just pieces and strips. Maybe. Maybe when you buy an ATG gun, there should be ATG gun classes. Gun safety classes, right? For your ATG. I could obviously benefit from one of those. All right. So there's my little guy. And I have a tick mark here from his hat. And then the other thing is okay, perfect. Okay. All right, I think that turned out just fine. So let me go ahead and press this down to get some good contact. See what I mean? Those, you know, these antlers in particular, and their little noses and the tips of their ears and their legs, all these things, if not securely glued down, would end up getting lifted and possibly torn. Okay, cool. So there's that. Yay! Oh gracious, what next? What next? What next? I think I'll do the trees in the corner. And again, here's just some more of those same pine trees. This time I did, these are the two littlest trees that I cut out. And I did a light and a dark. And then I'm going to tuck, like I said, there's a gap between the craft and the white snowy hills. So they're going to get tucked back there. and just glued down flat. Okay, sorry about that. My camera decided to shut off. Hopefully you didn't miss much. At least I heard it do it. Okay, so now I'm going to add these same holly berry pieces to the corners of my journaling card. Glitter, glitter everywhere. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of photo frames. This time I just went with the wallet size 2x3, and on this one I did the landscape orientation. And again, same little snowdrift on top. You know, I edged it with the, I think I'll use my tape. Anyway, I edged it with the glitter. That was it. Well, I really like this layout. I think it's really cute, and I can't wait to add some pictures to it. And like I said, it all started because of this wonderful Santa and the moon. So I have actually a couple different cut files with this same concept, you know, but this one I really liked a lot. So I'm going to put the pages side by side, which is a little cramped in my little setup here, but just so you get an idea. And like I said, I'll include some more pictures. Anyway, thank you guys so very much for sitting with me through this one. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So you guys all have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.